88.7 FM.
There's a lot to digest and a lot of voices to be heard. Stick to the frequency that amplifies these voices, stories and reports that make the difference. This is Agidigbo News, 88.7 FM.
This is Kunle Amzat Studio, Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Welcome to News Around the World.
Good evening, welcome to the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowali Akimbode. First, the headlines. President Tinubu calls for reactivation of regional standby force. Ibadan resident reports persistent cough, catarrh symptoms, raises concerns. Israeli strikes kill at least 30 Palestinians in Gaza. United States government partially shut down despite last-minute funding deal. Rybakina beats Sabalenka for first Australian Open title. Now the details. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has called for the reactivation of a regional standby force to strengthen collective security efforts in West Africa and the Sahel, urging countries in the region to leverage Nigeria's National Counter-Terrorism Center in Abuja as an intelligence and operations hub. The president's position was conveyed in Nigeria's official statement delivered by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu, at the Conference on Security Situation, Operational Challenges and Future Risk Trajectories in West Africa and the Sahel held in Accra, Ghana. According to a statement issued today by Abuja by the Special Assistant on Communication and New Media to the Minister, Mr. Magnus Eze, the President reaffirmed Nigeria's unwavering commitment to safeguarding peace, security and stability in the region, stressing that the need for stronger multilateral cooperation to address the worsening security situation in the Sahel. The President noted that Nigeria has continued to monitor and disrupt terrorist activities through joint efforts with regional and continental institutions, stressing that the center is therefore well positioned to support regional mechanisms and serve as an intelligence coordinating hub in our unified counterterrorism effort. President Tinubu also warned about the growing use of cyberspace by terrorist groups for misinformation and disinformation campaigns, which is said undermines security and stability in the region. A growing number of residents in Ibadan are reporting persistent cough, cold and catarrh symptoms, raising concerns among health workers and the general public. Hospitals and pharmacies says they are seeing more patients daily as the illness continues to spread across communities. Agidigbo FM News correspondent Abiodun Oloyede reports on the rising cases of cough around the public. Here is the report.
There is growing concern amongst residents of Ibadan as cases of persistent cough, cold and catarrh continue to rise across many communities. Hospitals and pharmacies report an increase in people seeking treatment for cough-related symptoms, ranging from dry cough to chest congestion. Health experts attribute the issue to weather changes, dust exposure, and the spread of seasonal infections. Some residents of Ibadan who spoke with Agidigbo FM say the cough often lasts for days, affecting daily activities and productivity. Speaking with Agidigbo FM, Mr. Prince Ayo Adeyemo made it known that the cough can be caused by the change in weather and dust.
It's the seasonal change. We are in the dry season, and a lot of dust fly around, and people inhale it. When you inhale it, your throat is bruised. Because that is the main reason why you have cough.
In another interview with Agidigbo FM, Mr. Karim shared his own perspective, saying the dust people breathe in and out can easily lead to a cough.
In my own perspective, what I think it may cause this cough is the dust, and as we are breathing in and breathing out, then we are surely inhaling it. This may lead to cough.
Speaking further with Agidigbo FM, Mr. Abiodun Durojaye urged people to use nose covers, especially in dusty areas.
What can really cause the cough is in different ways. The first thing is the Harmattan season that we are now, and this could easily lead to cough, and also the dust can cause it too. But everyone should know that they will take care of themselves.
The cough, cold, and catarrh symptoms experienced by some people are now getting out of hand. However, residents of Ibadan are being urged to take cough medicine seriously and seek proper medical attention early. Residents and health organizations must embrace awareness and fast response to reduce the spread and impact of the illness. Abiodun Oloyede, Agidigbo FM News.
For many Okada and Keke riders in the ancient city of Ibadan, each day on the road is a fight for survival. Driven by rising unemployment, unstable fuel prices, and family responsibilities, these drivers brave harsh weather, poor road conditions, and long hours just to make ends meet. In this report, Agidigbo FM news correspondent Alima Adebola reports on the daily reality, struggles, and resilience of Okada and Keke riders in Ibadan. Here is the details.
For many Okada and Keke riders, the job is no longer just about transportation, but about survival to support their families and other responsibilities. While some people engage in Okada and Keke driving due to unemployment, some grow through the daily experience with their resilience and dignity. Speaking with Agidigbo FM News, a Keke driver, Mr. Oluyinka Adepisi, said unemployment pushed him into the daily transportation of passengers. The daily experiences of Okada and Keke riders not only shape their livelihoods, but also play an important role in transportation and economic activities within the society. Unstable cost of fuel have reduced the profit margins, forcing riders to work longer hours to meet daily targets. Speaking with the chairman of Yana Bodija Zone, Mr. Kazim Olawale, said the transportation business has brought success to him. In an interview with Agidigbo FM, Mr. John narrated how he left his job for the daily transportation business.
But due to the situation of work in Nigeria, I changed my work. When I see one of my friends, a lady, is a friend in the Lord, that ride the Marua, I said, "Hey, you are riding Marua, you woman, wow." Then he tell me how long and how far it is. So I said, I promised myself that I will ride the Marua. Then I started. I collect some of my money to go and buy one food Marua. Then the Marua did not give me what I need. Then I went to go and hire this one.
Some riders now start as early as dawn and continue late into the night, navigating bad roads and heavy traffic. People are encouraged to understand and appreciate their daily struggles and contributions of Okada and Keke riders, as their works play an important role in rural and urban transportation and economic activities. Aisha Oladeji, Agidigbo FM News.
Sheikh Abdurrahman Mustafa, fondly known as Baba Lakbeta Awowo, was a respected Islamic scholar and community leader, born on the 11th of November 1950, touching many lives with his wisdom and teachings of Islam. The 75-year-old Sheikh Abdurrahman Mustafa, who died in the early hours of today, was buried at his Mosfala residence in Ibadan, according to Islamic rite at exactly 2 p.m. Agidigbo FM correspondent Aisha Oladeji, live at the scene, brings the details.
The atmosphere was solemn yet filled with prayers as the remains of Sheikh Abdurrahman Mustafa was laid to rest at his Mosfala residence in Ibadan, Oyo State today. The burial of the 75-year-old cleric took place at exactly 2 p.m. with family, friends, and members of the Muslim community in attendance to pay the final respects. In his sermon, a cleric from Ilorin, Sheikh Muhammad Raji, urged the family to uphold peace and unity, emphasizing that harmony would be the greatest way to honor the Sheikh's legacy.
The children to follow the step of their father, and they should not separate themselves by quarreling or others, and they should never allow anybody to separate them from the path of their father.
Family members, business associates, and the Muslim community in their separate interviews with Agidigbo FM News expressed their grief and shared fond memories of the late Sheikh, describing him as a man of peace, wisdom, and a teacher of Islamic virtues.
He loves Awliya, he loves Waliyullah, he loves Awliya too much. Most especially, he loves his master. He loves Sheikh Ibrahim. Yes. All these children of Sheikh Ibrahim, he devoted his life. Whatever he has, if he has 1 naira, he prefer to spend everything for them.
Indeed, a great man of God. We still have few of them remaining, but very, very few. This is a big loss to Ibadan land, to the Tijaniya movement worldwide. I pray to Almighty Allah to forgive him and look after his family.
While prayers were going on for the family of the late Sheikh, elders and clerics also announced and decorated the first son of the deceased as the new Khalifa of the family. As prayers and well wishes continue to pour in for the deceased family, the exemplary lifestyle of the late Sheikh Abdurrahman Mustafa remains a source of comfort and inspiration to younger generations. Aisha Oladeji, Agidigbo FM News.
And now it is time to link up with our United Kingdom studio for the foreign news.
News from Kulamza studio, Agidigbo FM. United Kingdom, I am Olushola Damilola. At least 29 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli strikes earlier today. According to hospitals in Gaza, casualties included 2 women and 6 children from different families. This is one of the deadliest days in Gaza since the ceasefire was agreed in October. Gaza Health Ministry, which is run by the Hamas-led government, has recorded more than 500 Palestinian deaths by Israeli attack since the start of the ceasefire on October 10. Israel ministry did not respond to questions immediately about the strike, although they accused Hamas of new ceasefire violations. Both Israel and Hamas have blamed each other for breaching the ceasefire since it was agreed after 2 years of war. Palestinian officials suggested that about 100,000 people have fled Gaza since the war began. Nationwide demonstration took place yesterday to protest President Donald Trump's immigration enforcement efforts, with organizers calling for a boycott of schools, work, and shopping. Massive crowd of protesters was seen marching downtown, chanting and holding up signs reading "Eyes Out." Although the Justice Department has opened a civil rights investigation into the Pretty shooting, the probe will examine whether the Department of Homeland Security officers violated the law in shooting Pretty. And that ends the news. From William's studio at Gidigbo FM, United Kingdom, I am Olushola Damilola.
Welcome back. We shall also be moving to our Maryland studio, United States, for more foreign news.
News from Kule Amzat studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sonya. The U.S. federal government has partially shut down despite a last-ditch funding deal approved by the Senate. The funding lapse began at midnight U.S. Eastern Time on Saturday, hours after senators agreed to fund most agencies until September. The bill includes just 2 weeks funding for the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration enforcement, instead of shutting it down entirely. The bill has yet to be approved by the House of Representatives, which is out of session. U.S. President Donald Trump struck the deal with Democrats after they refused to give more funding for immigration enforcement following the fatal shooting of 2 U.S. citizens in Minneapolis by federal agents.
This shutdown, however, is unlikely to be that long or widespread, as the House of Representatives is set to be back in session on Monday. The Justice Department has finished its belated release of investigative files related to Jeffrey Epstein, the convicted sex trafficker, though officials consider that the disclosure of more than 3 million pages was unlikely to put to rest the suspicions that surround the case. That was quickly reinforced by Democratic lawmakers and some of Mr. Epstein's victims, who had forced the Trump administration to disclose the documents related to the case. They asserted that a massive tranche still fell short of a full accounting and that the document revealed personal information about people Mr. Epstein abused. Hundreds of prosecutors have spent the last 2 months reviewing more than 6 million pages potentially related to the case. As of Friday, around 3.5 million pages had been published in response to a law passed by Congress last September. The latest file also included 2,000 videos and 180,000 images. And that ends the news from Kule Amzat Studio, Agidigbo FM, United States. I am Oluwatosin Sawyer.
Governor Seyi Makinde scores brace has assisted a goal when he led Governor Seyi Makinde's team against Mutiu Adepoju's team in a novelty match. The novelty match, held at the Lake on Salami Sports Complex at Damasigba, Ibadan, ended in 3-2 in favor of Governor Makinde's team. The novelty match was part of activities marking the 50th anniversary of Oyo State. Featured in the games are top government functionaries, politicians, ex-international, sports stakeholders and entertainers. Still in the exciting world of sports, Elena Rybakina inflicted further Grand Slam final heartbreak on world number 1 Anna Sabalenka with a dramatic third-set fight back to win her first Australian Open title. The 5th seed Rybakina was 3-0 down in the final set, with Sabalenka looking set for her 5th major single trophy. However, the 26-year-old Rybakina won 5 successive games to avenge her loss to 2-time winner Sabalenka in the 2023 final, then maintained her composure superbly to serve out the match with an ace and claim a majority trophy following her 2022 Wimbledon triumph. To wrap up the news this evening, here is the recap of the headlines. President Tinubu calls for reactivation of regional standby force. Ibadan residents report persistent cough, catarrh symptoms raises concerns. Israeli strikes kill at least 30 Palestinians in Gaza. United States government partially shuts down despite last-minute funding deal. Rybakina beats Sabalenka for first Australian Open title. And before we go this evening, here is a quick tip. Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a stepping stone towards it. Finally, we have come to the end of the news around the world on the most listened to radio station, Agidigbo 88.7 FM, Ibadan. I am Bowale Akimbode. Thank you for listening. Good evening.
News is information, and information is power. At Agidigbo 88.7 FM, we bring the news from top to bottom.
The Oyo State government has said the over 1.5 million out-of-school children.
We give you reports from Oyo State.
The Oyo State House of Assembly has called for thorough investigation.
The Southwest in Nigeria and the rest of the world.
Has clarified that the body did not receive any cash support from international development.
Trust us to keep you informed every hour, every day.
Agidigbo 88.7 FM.